Moving on. قال قلنا يا رسول الله فما سرعته في الأرض قال كالغيث استدبرته الريح. So now the companions of the Prophet ﷺ, they asked him that what will his pace be on the earth? How fast will he be able to travel on the earth? So the reply by the Prophet ﷺ was, it will be like a cloud, or it will be like rain, that behind it there will be wind. So if you see certain rainstorms, if you see like a tornado where all the clouds and the rain is just going so fast, this will be his pace. He will go extremely fast. Like we just said, if he's staying on the earth even for 14 months and 14 days, he has to travel the whole world in that time. So his pace will be extremely fast. Now here, there is an interesting point to note, that in certain narrations, the Prophet ﷺ has described the donkey of the Dajjal, and he said that بين أذني حمار الدجال 40 ذراعا, between the two ears of the donkey of the Dajjal there will be 40 cubits. One cubit being from the middle finger to the elbow. So between the two ears of the donkey of the Dajjal there will be 40 cubits. And one of his strides, one of the donkey's strides will be equivalent to the distance that you travel in 3 days. That's just one of his strides. And he will travel over water just as you over a large sea and large river, just as you travel over a small canal. So this donkey will be able to travel a large distance. And in certain other narrations, there are more details about that this donkey will be a white color. And there are other descriptions that you might find. Allah knows best regarding their authenticity. Certain people have said, oh, in its belly there will be a door from which people will be able to enter, but nobody's really been able to locate exactly the sources of this. So Allah knows best about the authenticity of them. But what I've just mentioned to you now, it's mentioned in Musnad Ahmad. It's also mentioned in Nu'aym ibn Hammad's book Kitab al-Fitan, regarding this donkey of the Dajjal. So if it's white and is this big, what do you think is going to be? Louder? You're right. It's going to be, well, from what we understand, or we might be able to understand, very possibly a plane. Okay? If it's white and it's so this big, it's possibly a plane. Okay, and from this there's another question that people have, is whether there will be technology at the time of the Dajjal or not. So obviously we can't give a conclusive answer whether there will be technology. We don't know. Obviously all the narrations, they say that there will be swords, there will be shields, etc., etc. Even like here the Prophet ﷺ is mentioning the donkey, but we can understand it to be a plane. So that is, it is a possibility there will be technology. And I'll give you another example of this, is after the Dajjal, the time of Yajuj Majuj, which will be after the Dajjal. It is mentioned that Yajuj Majuj, they will sort of destroy everybody on the earth, and now they will turn their attention to the people in the skies. They'll say, okay, we've killed everybody on the earth, let's kill the people in the skies. And they will fire arrows in the sky, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will return their arrows covered in blood. So they will think they have destroyed and defeated the people in the skies as well. Now the hadith mentions they will fire their arrows. Now from our understanding, what do we think it can be? Some missiles, some rockets. You guys play Call of Duty, you know better than me what rocket launcher there is. So that's obviously in the narration is come as arrows, but we can understand it might be a rocket. So again, people say, will there be guns, or will there be actual swords used or not? From this, obviously, we can understand it in our own way. And in a narration before the Dajjal, we mentioned in the Mahdi series that in the great Armageddon war, that war will be so great that if a bird was to fly by their flanks, then it will eventually die before it covers all the bodies. And in that narration, it's also mentioned that there will be 100 sons from the same father. Not necessarily from the same father, but meaning from one big family. There will be 100 people, but at the end of the war, only one will survive. only one person will survive. So, if from 90 or 100 people, 99 people are going to die, do you think this could be done with swords? It's very possible this will be some sort of nuclear weapons. Allah knows best whether there will be technology at the time or not, but from what we can understand, certain narrations, they indicate to the fact that there will be, and obviously at the same time, there will be some people who argue, when there's going to be such a great war before the time of Dajjal, everything will be destroyed. So Allah knows best. But from this, I wanted to mention to you, how fast is Dajjal going to travel on the earth? It is said like a cloud or rain behind which there is wind. And then we've explained that the donkey of Dajjal, which we can understand possibly to be a aeroplane. It's actually mentioned in a book from the different narrations that the size of his donkey will be 420, I think it's feet, if I'm correct. And the biggest aircraft right now is about 320 feet. I don't know if feet or meters, but along those lines. So meaning that this aircraft of Dajjal either is going to be created in the future. They've not been able to make such a big machinery as of yet. So Allah knows best. So continue.